Hi everyone, this is Frank Demore with the Last Chronicles of Planet Earth. If this is the first time you came to my YouTube channel, please go to my website, www.bibleprophecyman.com. And when you're there, you'll be able to download my documentary called The Last Chronicles of Planet Earth for free. Just see the link at the top, click the link, and the book will download for you. What I'm going to be doing is just give a brief synopsis because I've said this many, many times and warned the people many, many times about the price food increases in relation to what we know Jesus warns us about in the book of Revelation. In Revelation chapter 6, verse 6, it says this, "And I heard the voice in the midst of the four living creatures saying, a quart of wheat for a denarius and 3 quarts of barley for denarius, and do not harm the oil in the wine." Now, we know that a denarius, when you go back into the New Testament, we know from what Jesus showed us that people were working all day long in a field for denarius. So Jesus in the book of Revelation is showing us that a person will be working all day long to be able to have enough money to buy one very small meal. And this shows us that by the time this world goes into the tribulation, the food prices would have skyrocketed so high that the people will be working all day long for one small meal. And here's the deal. It's for one person. It's not for a family. It's going to be for one person and one person only. So just know the context of what's taking place because we're in the midst of the birth pangs right now. Let me give you just a little bit of insight of what's been going on. Now, if you go to my website, you'll see all the articles over the last couple of years of all the price increases that have taken place. And I've been warning, this isn't the end of it. This is actually just the beginning of it. And that the prices of food were going to keep going up. And my warnings are all based on the words of Jesus Christ. And I know that Jesus Christ's words are all going to come to pass. And unfortunately, this generation, depending on how you look at it, is going to have to deal with these problems. Now, I say how you look at it. If you're a Christian, you're going to see the blessing of Jesus, the promise of Him coming for us to remove us out before the tribulation starts. Now, if you haven't received Jesus, you'll be cast into tribulation, and you're going to face everything and every word that Jesus spoke about. Here's an article, and you go to my website, you'll be able to click the link and read the complete article. It says, Clinton rises alarm on rising food prices. And, just the titles alone should tell you and be very significant about what's happening in these last days. This is what it says. The U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton warned Friday that the global shortages of food and spiral prices threaten worldwide destabilization and urging immediate action to forestall the repeat of the 2007 and 2008 crisis that led to riots in dozens of countries around the developing world. Clinton told a meeting of the UN Food and Agriculture Organization that urgent steps are needed to hold down costs and boost agriculture production as food prices continue to rise. It says, although the situation is not yet as dire as it was 4 years ago, she said the consequences of inaction would be grave. We must act now efficiently and cooperatively to blunt the negative impact of rising food prices and protect peoples and communities. And this is the last part that I'm going to quote. It says, the UN estimates that 44 million people have been pushed into poverty since last June because of the rising food prices. Are you getting the picture? And if you're not getting the picture, may I ask you to do this? At least do this. Keep coming back to my website because I'm going to keep posting all of the events that we're seeing in the news that connect between Bible prophecy and current events. And I can promise you this, just like I did 2 years ago, you're going to see more increases in the food prices as we get closer and closer to that 7-year tribulation. And they're talking about in this article about the destabilization within the countries. And they mentioned 2007 and 2008, the riots. Now, Jesus told us in Matthew 24:7 that there were going to be civil unrest. This is where he says kingdom against kingdom. And we know that part of the civil unrest that we have already seen in many parts of the world, and just as of late, starting in January, we've seen riots in most of the Middle Eastern countries who can't even afford to buy food. We've seen it last year at the end of 2010 in Europe. We saw it in the beginning of this year in Europe again, where the austerity budget cuts have forced the hand of many of the poor people that can't even buy food anymore because of the prices of everything going up. These are the signs of the last days, specific indications that we're heading towards that 7-year tribulation. Now, I can't make you believe anything. All I can do is pour out my heart and ask that you would give a chance. Let Jesus show you that his words, everything, are coming to pass in these last days. And when he tells you that, and he shows us in the scriptures that obviously the price of food has skyrocketed, that's why people are going to have to be working all day long. You should really pay attention to what the Messiah says, because he's the only living true God, and everything. And the Bible is the only place you're ever going to find where he's given us the facts before they actually took place. And that's why, one of the reasons why I'm offering my free book, The Last Chronicles of Planet Earth, because it's so much information that you'll understand, and it's simply written. You'll understand Bible prophecy in these last days, and hopefully you'll be one of those people who will open up your heart to Christ and receive what he has to say. If not, get ready to go into the tribulation. And if you like working all day long for a very small meal, that's your choice. But the rest of us who've received Jesus Christ, we're going to be in heaven at the supper of the Lamb with Jesus Christ, not worrying about anything that's going on this planet, because the Lord would have moved us out of here into heaven. And I pray that my work for Jesus would inspire you to come to the knowledge of your salvation in Jesus Christ. Thank you.